Ladies and gentlemen, you are now listening to the Talking Nonsense About Impact Wrestling podcast. Cross the line in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Talking Nonsense About Impact Wrestling podcast. Thank you for coming back or listening to this. If you're listening to us on our sounder or you're watching us on YouTube or right now live on Twitch, thank you for coming and thank you for listening, guys. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, like, thumbs up, all that great stuff. But most importantly, alongside me, as always, are the NXT UK Championship belt and the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship belt to my TNA Tag Team titles. It's Max and Craig, everyone. Max.
What's up, everybody? As you can tell, I have a perfect
beautiful
recreation of the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship behind me. It's exactly what it actually looks like.
Especially on IWGP, but that's rough.
It's god awful. So here's the first thing I'll say, because apparently people on Twitter were getting upset with me, thinking I was talking smack about the guy who made it. The craftsmanship is phenomenal. Like, if you look at it, it's really well designed. It would be like if you go to a tattoo artist and say, "Hey man, I want this tattoo of crimson," and he gives you a perfect tattoo of crimson. You're like, "Bro, that tattoo's ass." It's not his fault that you asked for an ass-looking tattoo.
No, that's fair.
He did great. You just asked for an ass-looking tattoo. My main issues with the belt, as you can actually see, I have the real one behind me, are what they try to say that it represents from the old ones. So if you ever go back and look at the 4 different versions, here's what they say is hidden in this belt. So if you look at the top part of the leather, it's curved. They said that's a throwback to the version 1 belt, which is circular. It could also be a throwback to one of 600 other circular belts that have ever been made, but whatever. So version 2 belt is a crown. I'll actually show what you guys actually looks like
this
real
minute,
quick.
Brother.
Hey, it's going to be fast. It's this belt.
Right.
It looks like a crown. That one I can kind of see. The 3rd belt is the one that Brock Lesnar stole. The one that has the eagle on it. Apparently those Cody Rhodes looking wings are supposed to be a throwback to the eagle. And this little lion head thing, which is, by the way, their logo, it's also on like every other belt they make, I think. That's supposed to be the throwback to the 4th version.
That's the problem.
Amazing.
That one is so amazing, it's hard to go from anything else.
Yeah. Well, that one's amazing. My problem is all this stuff where they're like, "Hey guys, here's what we try to incorporate in this belt." To me, it seems like somebody made this thing and they're like, "Yo, this thing sucks." Hey man, let's make up a reason why it's connected to all these other belts.
No.
Like, you're telling me they had a belt that had an actual eagle wings on it, and they said, "Hey man, we want eagle wings. Let's go ahead and design them after Cody Rhodes' tattoo." Is that because Kenny Omega's going to win the thing? And they're like, "Well, Kenny Omega works for Cody Rhodes' company. Let's just go ahead and make that." Or maybe it's so that whoever wins between Rich Swann and Kenny Omega think that belt is so ugly that they don't actually want to win it, so they just leave New Japan alone.
Rich Swann wins it, and he needs a small belt for his tiny little body. Craig, what's up with you, buddy? Anything Impact related? Oh, is already freeze time for Craig?
I think Craig froze. Yep.
You there, buddy?
There we go.
We hear you?
Wi-Fi signal's crap, so it's me.
Yeah, you can hear you.
Kinda.
Wow.
Okay, so hold on. Yes, it's me. It's MIB. Craig, aka Mr. Impact Vlog for the TNAIW channel, and once again we're back. We're live. Same old nonsense, and if you don't know by now, you can find us here, you can find us there, you can find us down there, everywhere. From Facebook to Twitter, YouTube to Sounder. Every Monday, I'm on very little sleep.
You need to get more. You need to start sleeping, like taking a 30-minute power nap before we start this.
Then I won't wake up.
Yeah, I hear you.
Or you need to talk to the Queen about getting you some better Wi-Fi.
Is that how that works over there?
I don't know. I figure she's
It
in
doesn't,
charge
but
of it.
we do have some kind of topic regarding the UK as well on here. We actually have a pretty jam-packed show, as I always say, but we've been killing it. And as far as you guys giving us awesome topics and then us talking about them, not our topic or us talking is killing it necessarily. Obviously, as you could see how we're stumbling over our words here. But yeah, we have what we're going to start doing format-wise is the 5 hot topics. The 5th topic being straight from our TNAIW chat group, which is completely fire. Hello, Wrestling Jeebus. If any of you guys are on here, make sure if you want to give us a call in for the later part of the show that you give us your Skype information. We'll get you on the show. But yeah, so the 5th question will be from our chat group, and then we'll go into we'll do power rankings before that, and then we'll play a game at the end and take your calls as well. And today we're playing a game called 1 or 2 Words for You, which is going to be really simple, but you guys can get on the leaderboard and the scoreboard, as well as Craig and Max, who will be playing it. So without further ado, Craig, if you're not lagging, I'll let you throw it to power rankings if you got anything else to say.
Apart from every Monday, State of Impact will be on our YouTube channel, where I take you through everything Impact Wrestling related and all the nonsense we have for you here. Apart from that, let's just kick it straight to the power rankings.
Be right back. Do you agree with the power rankings? If you don't, you know where to get at us, either in this chat group or at TNAIW channel. And if we have enough people, Craig, do we have anyone in the chat right now? Or what?
My phone is fully lagging.
Just Wrestling Jeebus still.
I just meant in the room as well. I didn't
which
know
is.
We have 4 people.
Well, if we have enough by the end when we take the questions and also play the game, we'll do the person that comes in the lead that's not in on the screen and is in the chat group. We'll let you join the TNAIW ranking committee, because we're going to start adding someone little by little from our wrestling chat group or anyone that watches us. So stay tuned to play the game, and you can be on our in our ranking committee and make some change. All right, let's go.
Topic number 1. Oh my gosh, why is that so small?
That's what she said. Yeah.
I mean, so I'm just gonna is it Mark Nielsen? I believe, I can't remember his name. Impact TV ratings. Simple as that. Impact TV ratings. What do you rate
small, Craig, for you?
It's okay. Yeah. The Nielsen ratings for Impact Wrestling's latest Tuesday episode was originally reported as 0.038 incorrectly. Thoughts on the event? G, go ahead and take it away.
Oh man. I'll send it to you.
It's late. It's late for Craig.
Yeah, so I did want to make this a topic, because even though to me I always mention, and everyone says, well, you're being homer, you're being biased, and you care too little about the ratings, they mean something. I want to explain to you why I don't care about the ratings per se. And if they were great, would I care about them? Yeah, of course I would care about them. But does that defeat what I'm about to say? No, it doesn't. Because hear me out. So would good ratings be a precursor to getting a quicker, better TV deal, or ads, or investors or sponsors? Excuse me. Yes, it would make it faster. But the rating number on a 50 million home base is not that much. Okay, this isn't the end-all, be-all. This is our safe zone for now, as far as Access TV. So one, our reach isn't that great. Even if you do the math and do it to AEW, NXT as far as how many they reach to how many watch, we're still not doing well. So if it was the 138 that it ended up being, or 148, or the 0.38 that, or 0.038 that people said it was, they're not good numbers. Okay, in the grand scheme of things, there are tons and tons of people that live in the United States. Okay, and that's part of the issue here. When people say, "Oh, well, the ratings were bad in the U.S." Okay, well, the Nielsen ratings, for those of you who don't know, are 40,000 people in the United States that put this box on their television, and Nielsen surveys it. They look at it, they see where you go, they see your patterns, they see what you watch and when you watch and how long you stick to it and what quarter you switch. 40,000 people. Now, does that make it wrong? No, it's worked for all these years, theoretically. We don't know. So does 40,000 people represent the core of America? It's possible. I always thought the Nielsen ratings were broken in general. So that's one. And now, because you could reverse and say, well, if they're big numbers, you're going to go around with them and say the Nielsen ratings work. No, I would still say the same thing. I don't know if they work because I don't. The very little jobs I've had in the entertainment industry, I know how they do work, how you send it out so it can happen, and that's how it is. Now, as far as why I don't think it matters, it's not a matter anymore of people saying, well, how many shows or how many people did you have watching your show last week? Now, let me get this right. To executives of television stations or apps or streaming services. To the average person, to us, the people that complain, yeah, of course, they take, but yes, that's right, Bert. We're not including the +3 numbers. Now, I'm not comparing this to AEW or NXT or WWE. I'm just saying in general, they don't add their 0.3 numbers either. The 0.3 numbers are the numbers afterwards of people watching it after the fact of it already being live. So yes, we had a 1.48, a 0.148. But could there be another 100,000 plus threes and DVRs? Yes. Could there be on demand? Yes. Is there Impact Plus app, which has hundreds of thousands of subscribers for better or worse? Yes. And we're not taking consideration, it's very American of us, to say that all of the other countries' numbers don't matter. We are number one in Africa. I won't get into the UK because I know we'll get into that sore subject later. But I just want you guys to know that it's not being biased or whatever. It's just we shouldn't panic because this means nothing. Everything we've done so far, we've done with that 0.038. Not the 148 that we have. We weren't killing it on a fishing and gaming channel or whatever we were doing. And we weren't doing great on Pop either. So I just say be patient. Realize that this really doesn't make everything. It isn't a test or a factual depiction of what AEW and Kenny Omega are doing for us or not doing for us. I think we just need to be patient, realize there's more to it than just, hey, these are numbers and they're beating us. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think that obviously it was nice to see them jump up. They actually grew. So it was nice to see that because the people who were shitting on the number were pretty much proven to be idiots. But I think a lot of it has to do with, so obviously NXT is in WWE in general are on USA and Fox. AEW's on TNT. Those are channels that at least, I mean, I watch from time to time. I watch Fox. I watch USA.
You mean
I watch
not
TNT.
for something? Just
general people.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just in general. I'll when I'm flipping through, there are channels I check. There's a movie on. Oh, there's this, there's that. So if people are flipping through channels looking for stuff to watch, they're going to hit those channels. They may stop. They may watch for a little bit. And they may be like, yeah, I like this, I don't. One, I don't get Access TV on my thing. I don't even know what I have to add to my thing to get it. And the people who do get it, I'm pretty sure, just like with when we were on Pop, it's not a channel that you flip through and you just naturally
go to.
Like, it's one of those.
It really was.
Yeah, it's one of those channels that you're like, oh, this has Schitt's Creek on it. I like Schitt's Creek. I'm gonna watch that. and that's what you watch on there. So I think that's the thing when you look at the TV station it's on, you're not getting the people who are watching it on the TV channel are 100% Impact fans who know it's on there and who are actively looking for it. You're catching zero like random people who are your casual fans. Now, also they're not looking into, like you said, they're not looking into Twitch.
Well.
Which I'm sure, although I don't think it's hundreds of thousands of people, but it's a couple thousand people. They're not looking at the app. And to me, that's a big thing because more and more people are cutting cable. Like, I don't think, for the most part, I mean, outside of actual sporting events, NFL, that's really it because I watch my basketball online. For the most part, like the NA. Well, I'm just saying, like, I mean, you can watch it through through other apps. You can watch it through. Like even my the whole tournament, I watched NCAA tournament. I watched through the Paramount CBS app. I haven't watched. I think I've watched one game on actual TV. So I think more and more places, and like you said, it's if you're only looking at 40,000 people, especially when you get into a station that has very few people. You're gonna catch probably fewer people with the Nelson box than like percentage of people that have the Nelson box that have this station than actual percentage of people in the U.S. just because it's such a small group of people that have this thing. Yeah, I'm really surprised at this point. There's no way for them to just figure out with all the technology we have that they can't just be like, hey, who's watching this thing? Cox, give us what you want, because I damn well know they can tell how many people watch this stuff.
And you know, my cousin worked for Cox for a little bit there. The issue is privacy. You're not allowed to give out that information without agreeing to Nielsen letting you do it. They give you a box, they give you $1, I think, or something, and then you do it for them. Yeah, right.
Shit,
for
man.
$1, they send them out all the time. Just you'll find them.
I mean, I don't get it, but yeah, Bert gave an exact example. TBS is 32, TNT is 33, Access is 707. You're not making it. I'm not making it through 771.
No, and that's the thing is everyone keeps saying, well, also they don't matter the ratings when because we need we should stick on Access and build Access up. I'm sorry. I love music content. I love Mark Cuban and Steve Harvey. Unless they put Shark Tank and Family Feud on Access TV, that station's not going to build overnight. So would ratings on here help speed up that process? Sure. I'm not going to, I won't lie about that. But when we're transparent about this on every other topic, you have to trust us that this doesn't really matter.
Yeah, they would really have to get access into a lower channel and into a bunch more homes for it to matter. At this point, you can only grow it so much. But the other thing is ratings, in terms of like how much ratings matter, the only people ratings matter to are the people that own your network.
Yeah.
If you're doing 5 million people, but your network wants you to do 10, then 5 million isn't good. If you're doing 150,000 people and your network only wants you to do 50,000, you're fucking killing it.
No.
So that's the thing. Like, is if Access is happy with what Impact is doing, then it doesn't matter what the ratings are because they're like, hey, we're happy with what we're getting. We're going to continue to put money into it.
We own it. And that was kind of the point, was we build it on our own, and then we realize, even though the trolls, and I'll call them that because if you can't see the logic behind app downloads and YouTube, and we didn't mention that, but YouTube being one of Impact being one of the biggest YouTube wrestling channels, if not the, right? Don't they, or do they caught up now or something? But as far as views go and over history of time, I forget what the number is. Don't quote me on that, but they have a big following there as well. So how do you not ignore that for WWE, NXT, AEW, but you ignore it for Impact? So it's just going to be what it is. People will pick and choose what they want and make up theories based on the situation compared to the actual A plus B equals C. Because Impact is that variable that no one likes. But I will say this, I don't want to jump too far ahead. I know we'll talk about the UK stuff. But would you prefer us build up Access TV over time? Or do you think because it's non-exclusive that this is just a jump-off spot?
I mean, I would probably say a jump-off spot. I mean, it would be cool to build it up. But I mean, so here's the thing. If I wish I knew what the actual numbers from the app and from the YouTube.
We'll have to get this for next week.
Like if I wish they. Yeah, I would love to get all these actual numbers to see, because if the app, let's just say for example, the app is basically another 100,000 people. If that's the case, I think you can more focus on the app than you would access. You just keep it on access. Who cares?
I think I also
don't think it would be a bad idea is if you can get on a better network, you can always do a rerun of the show on Access. Like, hey, we're gonna run it on a. Here's what you do if you're smart, because it's exact. That's it. Hey, the show's gonna be on Thursdays on TNT, whatever, and then we're gonna rerun the show on Tuesdays against NXT. Why not? I mean, because there's zero negative there. Access owns it, even if only 10,000 people watch. Like, I don't even know how many people watch Access. Probably 10,000.
We are the number one show on there, which is obviously isn't saying much, but we have to remember, even if it's an extra 100,000, we get extra 200,000. Yes, on Access numbers, that's good, but in the grand scheme of things, no TV exec's like, oh, you get 300,000 and here's a deal. That's not how it's going to work. How it's going to work is the same way it works for us and Access TV's execs as well, which is, if you like it, it is good content, it will be bought. It's that simple. Everyone knows, and executives especially, trust me on this, that it is no longer about the individual platform, but the product that people can buy. Look, Knives Out, the movie, right? We're getting away from going to the theater, allegedly. Well, obviously we are right now, but that's going to be the focus, right? Keep us in our house and watch stuff from streaming services. Knives Out just did I should have wrote this down, but I think $500 million deal to air on Netflix. One movie, $500 million. Okay, we're obviously we're not in that category. We don't have Chris Evans on our show. There's things that are going to hinder us. Yeah. But the money is in getting it on a streaming app. So all this
Yeah, no, I agree. If they could get onto Netflix, that would be, or Hulu.
If the numbers fail on a Netflix, a Hulu, a Peacock, or the cock that's for Combat Republic, if they get on any of that and the numbers are shit, my hands are up. You're right. Impact isn't doing well. Pull the plug. But that's not what's happening. So right now, it does not matter what they say online. It matters if Impact is on TV, so you, myself, Craig, and all the fans can watch it and enjoy it. We are 34-year-old people. Yeah. Craig, what are you, 22? I don't even know. 18? 24?
24 next month.
Okay, there you go.
Next month.
Happy early birthday. We don't need the approval of other people. Would it be nice? Yes, but that doesn't decipher what I like. So don't let this decipher it either,
And here's the thing. Clearly, Impact carried enough something for AEW to say, let's partner with them. Even if you say something, like, very similar when ECW and when WWE was working with ECW. You can say that ECW was the minor leagues, blah, blah, but there was something there that WWE said, you know what? We want to work with this company, whether it's to develop and steal talent, whether it's because they're friends, whether it's because they feel like Impact has better relations with New Japan than they do. Like, there's some type of, like, goal or value in Impact that AEW said it's worth working with them, because they're not working with ROH. They're not they do have a working relationship with NWA, but not to the same extent. Like, they're sending these people. So there's some value in the company there. And I do think New Japan is a good jumping off point. I really do think they need, and I think somebody else put it, AO said it, like, New Japan needs to come back on Access.
It would be huge. Because it would give us a reason for those fans, not even like in numbers wise, even if it's 30,000, that's probably 30,000 that weren't watching Impact, to be honest, because they're a different type of fan. Yeah. So let's get to number 2, because this kind of rolls into it. Craig, can you see this, or do you want me to send it to you still?
I'm
Okay, well, how about this? I'm gonna read it to you because I want your opinion first, and then I'll go into mine and Max's as well, or Max and then mine. One of Impact's largest markets, the UK, is still without a TV deal. YouTube was thought to be the answer, but only available on Impact Plus still. Is this a big deal?
It's a big deal in the sense that it's kind of messed up. Especially as well, Impact claimed that they never said YouTube, the full episode would be on YouTube. They only claimed that they'll be putting clips on the clips in order so you can watch the show through clips. But in terms of the TV deals, it's been a mess since we left Challenge TV, which was 2016. It's been a mess. I mean, the first time the app was available, the Impact app in the UK for the UK fans, it's completely fucked up because we get a TV deal somewhere, but it always falls apart somehow. We've recently on 5-Star TV over here, and they have Spike TV UK, but they got WWE highlights. WWE gave them license to show the highlights, and they just dropped Impact to Friday night at between 11 p.m. and 2 a.m. Yeah. It is.
Why do you think that is?
UK deals. I don't know. I guess it's because a lot of fans during the bad times dropped off, which is understandable. A lot of people did. But it's always been. I mean, there was pretty substantial rumors that Impact were going to move to the UK permanently. So, yeah, it looked like it was going to happen. But, well, from what I could see, I mean, UK papers used to cover the show. Big national papers used to cover the show. Wrestling nightclubs used to show the pay-per-views.
That's crazy.
Live on big screens. It just.
Wow.
Went off.
Well, and that's kind of rolls in back to our last thing. Max, I'll let you go first, but we are bigger in other countries. Unfortunately, right now we're focusing on, well, I guess technically you say Japan as well, but we're not focusing on a company that at one point we really thought might move there. I mean, this might have been before Anthem, I believe, though, right before. Or a little before that, actually, when Dixie was still in charge, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So, they always used to sell out. They always used to be covered in the papers. Why aren't we giving more love to the UK fan? I think they are taking it for granted. And as Wrestling Jiba said, I mean, the fact that one of our biggest markets to my knowledge, one of the only places we sell out on the regular, that gives it love and that most of the population loves it, and we just say, go watch it on Jessica Havoc streamed on Twitch? Like, come on, Max.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that's an issue. Like you said, you can't, when you're number one in an area or in a territory or in a country, whatever, you can't take that for granted. You have to continue to work. That's what eventually causes people to fall. That's when, if you look back at WWE in the 80s, they took for granted that they were just the biggest, and that allowed WCW to come up. The fact that when WCW got to the biggest, they took that for granted, and then just kind of made, and then that allowed. So, I think if you just say, hey, we're the biggest, people are always going to like us here, whatever, we're not gonna worry about it. It does create an issue because if people can't see it, they're eventually going to forget about it, and they're going to find other stuff. They're going to find NXT UK, which I'm sure is over there. I don't know how easy. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. Their belts are really pretty. I don't know how easy AEW is to find there, but I'm sure.
Not that easy.
Not that easy.
Not as easy as you think.
Okay. So yes, I mean, maybe that's it. But I feel like you have to get a TV deal or some type of deal in place where people can watch it, so that you don't alienate these fans to the point where they just get fed up and leave. Because once they leave, it's going to be hard to bring them back because they're just going to move on to something else. I mean, we've seen it.
I would keep us some time here, and we'll get to the next one. Yeah, I completely agree. Did you want to finish your statement before?
I would say, yeah. I mean, you've seen it with wrestling in general. You had a bunch of casual fans, and they've all left, and you getting them back is like pulling teeth now. It's now just the very small hardcore fans. So you can't let those fans leave, or else you may never get them back.
Is this a big deal? To answer that part, I think goes into what you're saying. Yes, it's going to be harder to keep fans when you're not prioritizing their ability to watch. Okay, you could say, oh, even it's on Impact Plus, get Impact Plus. Well, not everyone has $7.99 a month. It just is what it is, especially during a pandemic. Let's get that out of the way. But is it a big deal? I know this answer is going to sound weird, but I'm going to say yes and no. Okay. The no part is because if this was a decade ago, maybe less, where we were less dependent on social media, or the expansion of platforms had not boomed yet as much, I'd be super concerned. But we do have YouTube, we do have Twitch streams, we do have all these things for fans that are actually fans to make sure they can watch it. Now, not to say that I hate when people say actual fans, but the casual fan isn't going to hunt down Impact. It just is what it is. So, I think, to go back full circle, I think AEW and Impact together makes a really smart sense because, as Craig said, it's not as easy as you thought it would be, but Impact has the lead in the global market. I don't care what anyone says, the facts are there, the numbers are there, the statistics are there. Impact is more of a global company than it is a domestic. We've always talked about that. And you don't really want to, but that's where the yes comes in, to Max's credit, to Craig's obviously point, and everyone in the chat group. If you're a UK fan, I don't know how you don't feel disrespected. And that's the problem. It's not about, of course it's about losing the fan, but it's that spark of disrespect where it's hard to get back from that I just don't see. It's going to be tough, and they need to prioritize. I hope that's in the cards. All right, Craig, can you see that button? You can do it. Put your back into it.
Yeah. My eyes are. Hold on, it's lagging. Hold on. Excuse me. After months of speculation, Chris Harris made his Impact return with a few names. Damn my eyes.
A few names have been rumored to be backstage. Does this ease your mind?
Yes.
I'll ease your mind, Craig. I'll say the rest of it. Is that a you, Max, or is that me?
Sounds like it's you. Sounds like Craig is drunk.
I wouldn't blame him. It is midnight there.
I just got one lazy eye and I'm short-sighted and long-sighted. My eyes are all kinds of messed up.
Yeah, so it's my go. Try to keep us in time here because we're going a little heavy, but ease my mind. No, I thought from day one, I've mentioned this for over a year, that AMW was going to reunite. I've been mentioning the Wolves and LAX as well. So once they come as well, that'll ease my mind in the sense of, wow, I was right. But the writing was on the wall. It's not like I'm some psychic or we didn't know. He was going to be at that take-home show. I'm glad he's here. So him being there doesn't ease my mind, but it makes me happy as fuck because this guy, like I said before, deserves that one last run to wipe away everything and say, look, man, there was too many knock Braden Walker jokes. Okay, it's done, it's over, let's bury that, let's come back and win these tag team titles one more time and end off on a good note. I think he can do it. I think he has a good heart. He's a good dude. Every time we write or tag him in something, he always talks back to us. His wife as well. Give this man the chance, and I'm glad that's happening. Now, as far as the names backstage, that's what eases my mind, because we were talking about who we need here and where we need to fill gaps and Killer Kelly this and that, and if you're a fan of our show as well as Impact and don't like spoilers, and you're listening to us to audio or YouTube, mute us now because we are going to talk about a little bit about spoilers. But Rachel Ellering, there we go, was rumored to be backstage. Taylor Wilde, a few other people. That eases my mind, because the biggest gripe I see are people saying the women's tag team division, right? The knockouts. I don't know how they'll use them. Once again, I really believe that Nevaeh, who turned, as I said she would, is going to be heaven backwards, and she's going to be with Tennille. So there's another one. You give Havoc, even though she's going singles right now, you give her a partner in either Sue, who's definitely coming back, obviously, or Rosemary, and she joins Decay. So they're slowly multiplying that. Now, the thing with Rachel that really excites me is, one, I think she got a not her due justice or due diligence in NXT. No, she didn't give the work. Now, maybe she was green. I'm not too familiar with her work past or prior to now. Besides the NXT thing. I'm not an indie follower per se. If one of you has more information on it, please. The one thing that does intrigue me, which kills two birds, one stone, and talks about something we talked about last week, which is having people like Thea and Andrade, where both of them are entities together, but apart they still do their thing in their own divisions. Wonder if she comes in as the manager, as a wink to her dad, as the manager of the debuting AOP. Easy in, brings these guys in with the storyline, gives her something in backup, which would be interesting, especially with Rosemary Decay, Caleb and with the K and Tennille, all these guys and girls in these factions. And that's if Thea comes back, we have that in Andrade as well. So we could keep building all of these things. So I'm really excited about her. Impact has done a very good job with their hirings and making people, like I always say, the island of misfit toys, just like ECW, taking people's positives, highlighting them while developing their weaknesses. Just like the Knicks, Max. Just like the Knicks.
Just like the Knicks. I think the Chris Harris thing was cool. Like you said, you've been saying it for a while. It's something that we've, I guess, expected.
Yeah,
is the easiest way to say it. So I think I'm more. I want to say I guess now that he's officially here, it eases my mind that you're like, okay, right. They're going to do something with it. It wasn't just going to be a one-off, hopefully. So I guess it'll more ease my mind once they officially reform
and
America's
actually have
Most
a match, because we don't know if that's the case. Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because if this was it, if he was like, hey, man, what's up? High five. All right, cool. See you later. Never to be seen again. I'd be like, that fucking sucks. So once he's actually a part of the tag team and they're doing something, that'll ease my mind. The other people backstage, I definitely think it's a good thing to add them, because I do think the women's division, I feel like there are a bunch of knockouts, but they just don't have a lot, I guess, built. What's the word I'm looking for here? They haven't built up anybody for either option. So Deonna basically kind of ran through Jordan. She ran through Jazz and ODB. So now you're kind of like, who does she go against? And then the Fire and Flavor have pretty much.
Oh, sorry. There was a want to become famous by followers. We're good.
Oh. Oh yeah, there we go. Hey man, stay and watch the show. You're a viewer. And for Fire and Flavor, they've kind of, it was Jordan Jazz and then
Death Machines, and then
Killer Death Machines. And it was Killer Death Machines then Killer Death Machines again, and then obviously they turned. So it's kind of like we don't have the next logical challengers for either one. So I think bringing more people back, obviously with them splitting up Killer Death Machines, that could give us some new pairings, which could be interesting and kind of do different things. That would be a really smart thing to do. Maybe stick Nevaeh and
I'll ask you, what do you think about Taylor Wilde as well, if that's her, which we
I feel like she's gonna I feel like she could team with someone, but I feel like she's going after the knockout. So I think that makes the most sense for her to come right in and let her have a decent feud with Deonna and then build somebody else up in the process. Whether it's Susie or if someone splits from, like maybe Susie splits from it or something, to where Kimberly maybe splits during the whole thing.
Offshoots.
But like maybe offshoots, and then once that feud's over, it gives you a next transition into it. So I just feel like that's her next step, and then maybe go into the Knockouts tag team division. But I think right now, I think she needs to be going for the title.
Taylor, and I will mention this because in the chat group I have said that she's not someone that we should be overly excited about. Now, that doesn't mean now. She hasn't wrestled in forever. I went back and watched her stuff, and I guess, in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't bad. It's solid. It's good.
It's solid.
I think it was just, once again, at the time, someone portraying an American when they were Canadian and everyone chanting US. It was just weird, man. How they try to make her the blonde hair bombshell, it just didn't work. Now, if this gimmick is her, which I think it really is, as I said there, he showed the hit list. If you zoom in, you can see the hit list crumbled up of who this person's going after first, and it was Deanna. And then it had Jordan lower in it, Deanna. I'm mistaken. If someone knows it, if you know it, make sure you tell us. But yes, I agree. All the challenges are in a spot where the North and LAX, where we're a finding teams rebuilding stage. We really need to rebuild, so she'll be a welcomed addition. So I was wrong on that. I think if she comes with a new gimmick, she comes with the following she's bringing from all of the work she's doing on her social media platforms, then hell yeah, she's a welcomed addition. Not that she wouldn't have been prior, but this just puts her over because, just like we mentioned with Thea, part of that great thing with her is that outside business that she brings into us. Same with Tia. Yeah. Now, I see people mentioning Allison Kay before we go to the next topic because we are rushing through here a little bit. I'm not a big fan of Sienna. I wasn't when she was there the last time. She just stomps around the ring, kind of overweight Abyss style.
Not saying she's overweight.
No. I'm talking about Abyss when he hit that stride where he always walk weird. Yeah. And she just stomps around, and her wrestling's okay.
And I'm of the opinion that if you try to ruin a pay-per-view, regardless of what Tessa did, you shouldn't be welcome back to the company.
That's my thing. Is even if you put that aside, I don't like her, what she brings to the table, the pinkies up thing, her character. What is her character? Is she a royal? No, she's not a royal. So she needs to find it. Now, if she does and she's a great contributor, what the hell am I going to say? Come on, bring it. The problem is it's hard to get over the Tessa thing as well. So, but I think good things are coming, and I'm happy with that. Craig, this one's the Ethan Page one. You want to harp on that a little bit?
Yeah, full disclosure, found this on Wrestling Inc., so don't know how true it is, but basically Ethan Page saying that he's reaching his dream in AEW and that Impact was never his dream.
Hey, I'll start. You know what? Good on him. If that's his dream, that's awesome. Not everybody's dream is to be a star. Some people like to be that dude working at McDonald's flipping burgers. They don't want to go any higher. So if he's happy hanging out and catering in AEW, doing not a damn thing,
McDonald's workers,
then more power to him. I mean, maybe he didn't like the fact that he was part of the top tag team in Impact. Maybe he didn't like all that work he had to do. Maybe he didn't like being a dominating force. Maybe he prefers to... I don't even know I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he was in the back of Trent's mom's van.
All right, we get the point.
Last episode of AEW. I don't know. But that's what I'm saying. It's good. I mean, if that's his dream to be there, my only problem is, like I said, I don't know what he's doing there. So I don't know what your dream is. It would be like if Andrade was like, man, my dream is to be in the WWE. Man, you haven't been on TV in 3 months. I know, man. I'm living my dream.
Okay. Well,
what?
I think it's very cynical and too quick to make an assumption of what he's going to be in AEW. He has a 3-year contract. Let's see. They're not banking on the fact that people know him from Impact, even though he attacked Matt Sydal. So with Ethan Page, one, I still think in my heart of hearts it's a work. But with that being said, if this is his dream job, which I read it and I believe that he was saying that Impact wasn't his dream, this is a step towards it, or this is, meaning I think WWE is his goal. I think obviously down the line there's ability for North to reform, but he is happy to make it AEW. Cody Rhodes and him are buddies. Cody talked about it even before his contract was up, that he would like him there. Ethan always was a mark for AEW from the get-go. So, the exposure for him and his family finally feeling like he makes it, and the money, I imagine, and to be on TNT and have his family be proud, that's priceless, man. So if he's happy with what he's doing and will make it, and this is his dream, then good on him. I really read it with thinking that he really didn't take a slight impact besides saying that he was happy that he went there because he got to work out the motions and figure out who he was. So, yeah, did he treat it like a developmental? Sure, but I'm happy for the guy. Move on, right?
Yeah, right. I mean...
Yeah. Someone who's such a TNA mark, though, it's a little bit of a...
Yeah, but that's what's the interesting part about it. That's what the interesting part. And they didn't break up Josh and him. I'm sorry. If they wanted to keep Ethan around and they said, hey, break us up, but don't make us fight each other. Okay, I understand that. But to be leaving for AEW and then you tell them that, like, and they do it for you, that just seems weird, right? Yes, he was killed, but why would they let him go out and, I don't know. Interesting. Let's get to number 5. Craig, I'll read it for you because we're a little behind, and we all can go on it. This is right from the chat group, and we're going to talk about it. If one was coming back, no matter what, but you had to choose, you got to choose one of whoever answers this question. Which one would you bring back, Austin Aries or Tessa Blanchard? Is that me first?
I mean...
If you want to take it.
No.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to... Yeah, I answered the last one, so...
That's a hard one. And I'll say why it's extra hard. I love Austin Aries. People could say what they want about him. I don't... Once again, are we judging the man and the individual who speaks his opinion, right or wrong? Or are we in judging the talent and what that talent would bring negatively to the table? I think Austin Aries has kind of burnt a lot of bridges in the sense, or in the minds of what we see, at least, of what we recognize. People always give him this douche-like personality that they say he has because he plays it really well. I mean... Yeah, there's a hint of douche, but I've met him multiple times, and every time Johnny is well contested, knows him better. He's actually not a bad dude to talk to. He's opinionated. Yeah. He's a little out there in different things, but who isn't? Now, I'm not agreeing. I couldn't even tell you what the things that people don't like that he says. I know he eats bananas or whatever the fuck it is. But Austin Aries, to me, is a homegrown talent. Yes, he was an ROH, but we made him, or he made himself in TNA. So, the thing with Tessa, to me, is Austin Aries never held our belt hostage, as Max puts it, and is correct. Austin Aries, you could say, was a screw job. That was a work. I was literally in the second row. I could literally see the ref talk to the situation. You could see Aries get out, right, and talk to Don Callis and say, F you, da-da-da-da, whatever, purposefully, right, on camera view. He exits, and the only people that weren't in on it were the other wrestlers. Killer Cross kept asking Moose where the hell Aries was. Moose didn't know. They just kept backing up. And then there's that footage, behind-the-scenes footage, where they both come through and ask what's going on. And D'Amore's reaction is, oh, it's just Austin being Austin, or Aries being Aries.
Which Aries took great delight in DMing me and telling me
that it was a work? Oh, because it was. Yeah. I was there. This debate of it. And if you want to keep that going and put that in his persona, that's great. But he's not as bad a guy as we like to make him out to be. Tessa, on the other hand, she's only 24 years old. She's great. People of all...
She's only 24? God, is she really that young? I feel like she's been around forever.
She has the ability to... more likely to change as a human being or to develop into someone who's a contributor. But Austin Aries...
She's 25.
Excuse me. But I think it's a harder sell. She's 25, thank you. Either way, here's the thing with me, man. I won't get into my life or my friend or anything like that. He's 43. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of racism. if you believe it or not, with her,
that's fair.
I'm not cool with it. Even if it was, look, everyone deserves a second chance. I believed when we worked through it and everyone was backing her and she said her point and you could believe it or not, and then some wrestlers stuck up for her, some told the truth or what they perceived as the truth. We don't know. We're not there. So is she? I doubt it. But did she say some fucked up stuff that she shouldn't? Probably. And I'm not down with that. Now, if she shows maturity and she's ready to be a team player, allegations are allegations. Once again, we aren't backstage. We don't know how she acts backstage. Just like Austin Aries, I can tell you how I think he is as a person because I've met him a few times. I've never met Tessa. Yeah. I can't attest to that, and I can't. Yes, what matters is right now. Yes, you're right. But has she done the right things to amend those issues? If people say you're a racist and all you have to say is, no, I didn't say that, and that's the truth, cool. But maybe you should give a... Right.
I dated Ricochet.
That's what she said, yeah. Give a little back to the community. Give a little back to polish your image if you're really trying to own it or be... please the people and erase that vision. I do want to show one thing before I kick it to you because it made me laugh my ass off. Sorry to the chat group. This is a guy, Mad Kurt, who wrote Austin Aries. If you guys haven't seen it, I'll read it. Great. Austin Aries, this guy who has been arguing with Austin Aries for the past few months had written him the other day and said, "Hey, Austin, this is April 1st, 2021, 10:48 a.m. Hi, Austin, I couldn't contact you on Twitter because you've deleted your account. But I wanted to apologize for trolling you in the few months back. I've grown a lot as a person since then, and I realized it was childish and immature. I'm sorry. Hope you're doing well, Mad Kurt." Austin replied, as you would think he would, a little douchey but serious. "All good, brother. Water under the bridge. Hopefully it was a good lesson to you to respect those that came before you." Okay, got his little point in, and the guy replied, "April Fool's, you big dumb baby." That's good shit. And Austin said, don't contact me again. Because there is a part of Austin that probably is like, man, that fucker got me. there's April Fools. There's nothing I could do to that.
That's the problem with April Fools is like when someone sends you something, you don't want to be a dick and be like, yeah, fuck you, it's April Fools. And they're like, no, man, I was actually trying to be nice. You're like, oh, my bad. April Fools is a dangerous day to do anything.
Mad Kurt is a guy who can dish it out,
I'm
but
sure.
It's not like taking it. And I don't like that.
I don't know this guy.
My
friend sent this in our chat group. We laughed about it, and that was that. Max, but your opinion, though, so we could get to the game and not run long.
Right. So, 2 opinions. One, we need to change this subject on Twitch because it's still No Surrender pre-show live. So whoever's in charge of that needs to get on it.
Sure, okay.
The name of our episode.
That couldn't have waited till after
the
show.
Well, no, because it just bothers me that we've had it there for a while. We just need to make sure we update it. So here's the thing. If this was what Max wants, I would bring Austin Aries back in a heartbeat because I love the guy. I think he's an amazing athlete. I think there's a lot of amazing matches that he could have.
He's older.
I mean, him versus Nate. I still think him versus Ace Austin, him versus Chris Bay, him versus Eddie Edwards would be another banger. Like, has some great matches. But in terms of what I would do if I was in charge of the company, excluding the Tessa Blanchard, like, personal issues, her as a person, how hated she is, I think she would be the one that you have to bring back simply because the Knockouts division needs her more than the X division or main event scene needs Austin Aries. There are people that you can have. Rich Swann, obviously Kenny Omega's there, Moose, Eddie Edwards, Sami Callihan. There are people that you have already lined up for heavyweight title shots, and obviously the X division is fucking stacked.
Right.
So you don't need him. Bringing Tessa back would instantly give you matchups for the Knockouts division. You could team her with somebody that she can belittle. Who cares who it is as a tag team? So I think it makes more sense to want her back just because the Knockouts division is the weaker one depth wise. And she adds an instant star that you can send right in there to bring in, similar to Taylor Wilde, but I think she's a bigger star. And even if you only bring her back for a short while, Deonna beating her builds that aura because of the things she's done.
You would have to just erase the memory of everybody and say, no, she wasn't the last champion before it was vacated, or whatever it may be. And you would have to say, well, no, now she's just in the knockouts. Well, why?
Now you throw her in there and have Moose just annihilate her, or one of the dudes from Triple XL just fall on top of her and pin.
I think
she can't get up.
I agree with you there. She's the younger, she's the hotter commodity. Because we know at the end of the day, no matter what happens or where she goes, she will be cheered. Besides for Impact. So if we beat him to the gun and get her, good. But she needs to know that we would like to have her just in the knockouts, I think. We're running behind, so I'm gonna let Craig wrap that up.
I will say eventually though, she's gonna come back to Impact because she burns bridges everywhere she's at.
Well, once again, if she matures, we don't know. Craig, you wanna close it off, say your opinion, and we'll kick it to the game and calls.
So, as far as I'm concerned, I wouldn't bring any of them back, but if I had to choose one, I would probably go with Tessa as well. But that's my point, and so let's just go straight to the game.
We'll see what the commercial is. Bear with us, guys. I forgot to do this part. Oh, yeah, we're not doing that. We're going to do power rankings. Guys, so that was power rankings again. The other reason I played that was obviously it's new, it's not finished yet, but we're working on it, and as you can see, as I mentioned before, we're doing a lot of new things, a lot of cool announcements coming out in April, and as you can see there, we'll lead into the high scoreboard there. Changes. So do points matter? No. But now we got Phil with 8 points, Bert and Cody tied with 13, Mike C got another 100 points, so he's in second still, and AO got 10-19. We just gave you some for shits and gigs, man. For calling in, that's what it was. 19 points for calling in. The one thing, Mike C, why do you get an extra 100? Well, Mike Cavaccini will be here, the writer of the future upcoming 20th anniversary Impact Wrestling books. Will be back with us. If you caught that last show, or if you didn't, go back and watch it again because it was fire. Yes, there's audio problems at the beginning, but stick with us. It'll be even better this time, and definitely make your way through that. A bunch of knowledge he dropped then, a bunch of knowledge he's going to drop now, so save it on your calendars. April 24th, Mike Cavaccini will be here, and that will be a good time. Good time. So if you have any questions as well or want to call into that show, let's save some spots now because reserve some spots now because I think it's going to get packed really quick. Also, on that regard, we will be having, finally, as you can see there as well, a new Hard 10 game show with Lucha being our first contestant back with some really cool prizes. And that show will not be airing on our YouTube channel, but someone else's that we can't reveal just yet. But when we tell you, it'll be something a little bit bigger, so we're really excited about that. Get some eyes on the fun that is talking nonsense about Impact Wrestling. All right. So the game we're gonna play today is called, I got one or two words for you. Okay. So what's gonna happen here is Max and Craig are gonna go and say their answer when they think. It doesn't take any points off if you guess wrong, but where you answer it is what matters. So for instance, if the answer was, say the answer was Taylor Wilde, okay? I would give you 3 hints. I'll give you 1 hint of a wrestler she's associated with, and you guys guess in the chat group as well. You can earn points. If you guess it right on the first guess, you get 3 points. Then I'll give you another wrestler that they're associated with. If you get it then, you get 2 points. And then 1 on the third.
You get 2, okay.
So I won't tell you if they're right until the last one, until we get through all of them, but...
Can I guess it
Yeah,
three
sure.
different times?
Okay, only one guess per time.
Okay.
We'll start this game. It's going to be fun. We'll bullshit in the meantime, and you guys can tell us if you want to call in. Now, the point of this is there's 10 questions. I don't know if we'll get to all of them, but each wrestler in this that I'm describing that you need to guess is one of the 10 wrestlers that I will be unboxing right after the show. You could go watch, finally, the TNAIW, This Old Wrestling Shit unboxing video.
You finally filmed that?
Nice. It's a
Nice.
long story. But it's 15 minutes. I kept it under 15 minutes. I'll keep them all under 15 minutes. It's a really good time. I've enjoyed it. Even Kristen liked it, so that's saying a lot. But yeah, definitely go watch that. Thumbs up, like it. It'll be up there. If you want to go watch it after the show, that'd be awesome. But every person on here is one of those 10 people that is part of that thing I am unboxing. So if that's any hints or help, Craig, I think that helps you more than anybody. We're good to go. So...
If I could Google what the name of those
don't
things
be
were,
an
I
asshole.
could figure out who they were.
So, yeah, spoiler. Craig, we'll let you pick. 1 through 10, buddy. Pick a number.
Let's go 6.
All right. So I'm going to give everyone in the chat group as well, I'm going to give you a one-word wrestler that they are associated with. You will give me your answer, and we'll move on to 2. All right, number 1. Low key.
Daniels.
Could this be somebody they
Just
wrestled?
low-key.
Could this be...
What's the first person? Who do you think of?
Okay. Well, I'm wondering. I was going to say Daniels.
The chat group, are they putting in their answers? There we go. We got Daniels. We got a Senshi. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Everyone in that wants to be in? All right. Number 2 hint. Kazarian. So this is 2
Still
points.
going Daniels.
Low-key and
Suicide.
Kazarian are the first 2 hints. You said Suicide. You said Daniel still. Chat group? Anyone?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll keep it going. And number 3, AC Romero. Craig sticking with Suicide. Max?
I'll follow Chris.
We got still Daniels.
I'll go Suicide. Or is it Manic? Or it's... Hold on. In the thing, he's that weird symbol thing. So it's not Suicide. I do remember him because I remember you and I have talked about it. So it's not Suicide. It's the Midway logo, I think, is what he is.
Okay.
Is that the Midway logo?
All right. The answer to it, Craig gets 2 points. Max gets 1. Suicide. Suicide is the answer. All 3 of them have played Suicide. Not really, but that's the joke, right? All right, Max, 1 through 10, buddy. All right.
1.
Go. You can only think of Suicide now. Yeah, Suicide. Hulk Hogan. If you could guess this wrestler right off the bat. Okay.
Abyss.
Craig?
I'll have to say Abyss as well.
Chat group, you guys got anyone that could be associated with a Hulk Hogan that would be in this 10-piece set, you think? Yeah? All right. Next up, Ultimate Warrior. So this person's associated with Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior. Good guess.
Who's in that thing? I have no idea.
Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior. Anyone got a guess? Max, you're not going to guess on this one?
I can't
Okay.
think of
Craig?
who.
From that time, I can't think. I was going to someone from WCW, but obviously Warrior showed up.
So
once,
just to
I can't
clarify to the
remember.
chat group, or if you're joining us later or missed how I was describing it, this is from the 2010 action figure 10-piece that I will open in the unboxing show right after this on our YouTube channel. So who was around in 2010? I guess that's the way to look at it. Craig, what's your guess, buddy? Nothing as well.
It's not gonna be, but I'll go Jarrett.
Okay. And last, Lex Luger. Okay.
Sting?
Craig?
I don't know if Sting was part of that.
I can't guess. I have no clue.
All right. The answer is Sting. Sting. 1 point to Max.
Okay.
Good job, Ayo. Got it. Ayo. All right. Craig, you're up, buddy. Pick your thing here. Number 2. All right.
2.
Number 1. Mr. Anderson. And it's not Mr. Anderson.
Okay.
Anderson.
Kurt Angle?
Max says
They
Angle. Is
wrestle
that your
each other?
final? Okay.
I mean, for now, yeah.
Hardy. Okay.
Jeff Hardy.
I'm trying to remember who's in that thing. I've seen the toy. I'm trying to remember who's in it.
So you're locking
That's
in.
the problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next up, Desmond Wolfe. So we got Mr. Anderson, Desmond Wolfe.
I'll feel Angle on this one.
Okay. We
I'll
got
still go
RVD
Angle.
in the group there. We got a Hardy, got an Angle. So. Okay. So you're both saying Angle now. Okay. And last but not least,
Yeah.
Jeff Jarrett.
I'm gonna Angle.
Angle.
All right. Must be Angle. It is Angle. It is Kurt Angle.
So do I get 6
No, you
points
get
for
3,
holding
as I
strong?
described earlier. Oh, I guess you didn't waver, right? Yeah. All right. Next up, Craig, number,
Yeah.
buddy. Oh, your turn, number.
No, it's my turn to give a number.
All right. Perfect.
3.
All right, guys. And after this one, if you guys want to, do we have any callers today, Craig, that want to call in?
I believe Io and
Okay.
Bert
We'll
want
call
to
them one
call
of
in. Gonna
How about this?
give
Actually,
a
I'll make the
strong
call
one.
now if you guys are ready. Let's see if anyone picks up. And then make sure to turn off your sound, guys. And we're going to call you, add you to the group here, and let you play along for this one as well. All right. So we'll start with number 1 as we're making this call. Eric Young. Eric Young.
Uh,
We'll start with number 1 as we're making this call.
I can hear somebody.
Hear us.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
What's up, guys? I'm doing good, you know. Loving what you guys are doing
Oh,
now.
awesome. Nice.
Fun
Do you have
game
a
right
guess?
now.
The next one up is Eric Young.
Hey, what's up, buddy? What's up, guys?
Oh, you're gonna have to turn off your. It's all right.
Oh, sorry about that.
Sorry.
I get distracted.
Eric Young.
What were
Eric
you
Young
saying?
is the first guest. Does anyone have a? ODB we got there. We got Bobby Roode in the chat saying it. You guys got a guess?
Petey Williams, I don't think is in the box set.
Wait, was Eric Young the first? Eric Young
Yeah,
the
that's
first
the
guest?
first.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
The first hint of who he's associated with. Rude.
I'm gonna say
Okay.
Rude.
Max.
I'll say Petey Williams. I don't think he's
Alright.
in the box set though.
PD is
I was gonna say PD too.
All right. We'll have you play this round with us if that's cool with you, and then we'll let you make your comment, question, concern. Number 2, Shawn Michaels. Eric Young, Shawn Michaels.
Eric Young, Shawn Michaels.
Kevin Nash.
Says Kevin Nash.
Yeah,
Kevin Nash. Yeah.
Kevin Nash.
Everyone's on Kevin Nash. Okay, chat group.
Yeah.
Somebody put his face. Third one is Scott Hall.
Kevin Nash.
It was Kevin Nash. So in this box set so far, there is Sting, Angle, Nash, and Suicide. Pretty damn cool. You guys got to definitely check it out. All right, so what do you got for us?
All right. Well, yeah, I just want to touch up on one specific this certain indie talent that been making a lot of noise. You guys heard of Mike Bailey,
last
right?
week, I believe.
Yeah, we talked about him last week, I think.
Yeah, and I couldn't help but notice that Iceman, kind of, touted that, that Mike Bailey is going to be one to, take notice upon her. So you guys figure, like, for a talent like him would kind of thrive on Impact, because I figure, for Impact, they should really get a grab on these hot indie talents that could, use that platform to, like, use a grower. So.
Absolutely,
you probably know most about him out of you and Max and I. Yeah, us three. Tell us your opinion on him. What you think he would succeed in? Where you think he would excel?
I mean, the X Division. He's not. I won't consider him a high flyer. He's got great striking skills, but I think he'd really suit the X Division. He has a different style. I've seen him live in person like 3 times, and every time he's impressed. He can go with anyone. I saw him wrestle Mark Haskins and Chris Brooks, and he's just phenomenal.
Uh-oh.
So he can go.
Yeah, no. With that being said, I mean, an added X Division guy that's about to explode. You're right. These are the guys that we should be taking a look at, even though we're kind of in a weird stage right now with veterans and bringing in people in the pandemic and such. But we got to remember these people that we are the biggest fans of, the Ace Austins, the Chris Bays, Kimberly's, or whoever you want to mention here. They're in that same realm. They weren't on a large scale until we brought them as well, until we gave them that platform and kind of polished them a little bit, and they're finding their way. So maybe if there are any things that people might not like or might not be excited about with him, Impact will find a way to polish him up and make him that. But from what it seems is that he already has the pieces that we need. Is that how you're feeling as well?
Yeah, absolutely right there as well. One other question, if you guys don't mind me asking. So we touched up on the knockouts recently, and I figured that we're at a point in life where the knockouts are like, they're kind of like taking that reign, where the X Division is, quote unquote built, built the company and this and that, and. We'll say, remember the Knockouts Knockdown pay-per-view that folks keep bringing out about it. So what if, like, to have it, like, do it once a year, like a Knockouts on pay-per-view, to really kind of, like, set an example or some sort? Because, obviously, WWE fans always kind of bring up the same, when's Evolution going to come back? Evolution 2, this and that. If Impact were to, like, kind of take that, and do the Knockouts and Knockdown pay-per-view every year, I think that would really sell us out.
No, I agree. And thank you for your question. I'm actually going to kick you out. Sorry to say it like that, but I want to let you back to hear it, and I'm going to get the other call and we'll answer your question. And we appreciate it for everything you do for our chat group, our page, and calling in every week, buddy. Thank you.
No problem, guys.
No, I think having a knockouts only pay-per-view once a year would be a great idea. I mean, women's wrestling has gotten better in some of the other companies, but there was a point there where Impact was 5 or 6 steps ahead of anything that WWE or anybody else was putting out. I don't think they're that far ahead now, not because their talent has necessarily shrunk, but because the other companies have added some really good female wrestlers. But I do think that they do a really good job of showcasing their women's talent, even on a 2-hour show, more than WWE does on a 3-hour or on 5 hours. So, but I think having a women's only pay-per-view once a year would be a great way for, one, you to showcase who you have now, but two, I think it's a good way to give people a tryout. hey, we similar to like when they have these things with WWE, like the Cruiserweight Classic or the Mae Young Classic, to where you're like, hey, not all these people are going to be in WWE, but if you're doing a women's only pay per view, once you use up your knockouts talent, you're going to need more people to fill that slot. So you can find some people that you were thinking about hiring and say, hey, here's your chance to impress us. Let's see what you can do. And I think and if they hit it out of the park and they make a good impression, then instantly your audience is like, oh yeah, I just saw that person on a pay-per-view. I'm super excited about them. So I think it would be a great thing at least once a year.
Right. Yeah, I think
do.
so as well. I think what he's alluding to is what we've, I think at least myself, I know Craig and I think we've talked about it as well, been looking forward to, which is we got our foundation now. But I miss the days of saying, oh, it's Feast or Fire time this year. Oh, it's we don't, and even people in the younger generation think Slammiversary is our WrestleMania because that's how they portray. Bound for Glory that was what was supposed to be showcased as our WrestleMania, if you want to talk about it in that aspect. So I think we've lost our way a little bit as far as making things, the gimmicks be characters as well, or something we look forward to. So I think Knockouts pay-per-view would be exceptionally welcomed. It would be great for all the Knockouts, and it does bring new people. The only thing I'm scared about is once you open Pandora's box and you bring in this indie talent and you don't sign them, you're up for the chance of what we are now, which is, oh, why didn't you lock them down? You should have locked them down. Well, maybe they didn't want to sign with us. Maybe they just wanted this platform to get some whatever. Yes, we did also get Shelly and Rebel, and that was horrible.
Awesome.
But yeah, so it does open the door to that, but if they do it in a very smart way with thinking of all the outs, and thinking about who they actually want to keep, and they settle that beforehand, I'm all for it. I think we need a lockdown every year. I think we need a Bound for Glory tournament, or Bound for Glory series every year, a Gauntlet for the Gold, a Call Your Shot. We need to keep doing these things. Feast or Fired, we don't necessarily need that. A King of the Mountain. We need to have these things to look forward to every year. And I don't care. People say, well, if we do that, then we're like Royal Rumble. Option C, there you go. These are investments Impact has already made. And of course, you can't use the same graphics and all that stuff. And you'll have to update everything. But it's still a commodity to some of the viewers still. And it might be a commodity to bring some of them back. We saw how big the TNA numbers were. And that was in a rougher time. So, I'm going to try to give Bert a call here as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with the why didn't you sign them? Why didn't you sign them? I mean, if you look at what the WWE does with their Mae Young Classic and Cruiserweight Classic stuff, they're not going to sign everybody. Like Ibushi was in the Cruiserweight Classic. He just wasn't going to sign with WWE. So you can always grab people who you know aren't going to sign, and then there's not that question. Why didn't they do this? So on and so forth. So
we got that noise. I think means Bert's on the line with us. Hello, Bert. You there, buddy?
Hey, what's going on?
Turn it down just a little.
Back away from your mic just a tad bit.
All right, buddy. Let's start with your question, and then we'll go let you guess one of the guys with us.
I think you turned it down a little bit too much.
Okay,
You're right.
what was that?
Just your
Sorry
question
about that.
first, and then
Your
we'll play the
question
game with you
first.
for the next character.
Oh, I guess my question is, in terms of the last question is there a tag team that you could see that Impact could sign right now that would make immediate impact?
Max, do you have someone in mind? Craig?
I'm trying to think. I mean, I think AOP is probably the biggest one out there. I just don't know. I want to say they had injury issues in WWE, which was one of their problems. I'm trying to think if anybody from WWE has recently gone. I mean, let's be realistic. Hopefully, Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin are about to leave there because they just destroyed everything they were building.
If they're not an injury, right.
If they're not an injury risk, I think they're easily the best one.
Saw what was. I thought they were generic big men, and I looked back because I was getting a lot of flack back in the chat group, and I still think they have room to improve. But once again, if you package them with Rachel Ellering and she's their manager, and that's all of their starting points, they can play that well. The problem I'm really scared about is it hurts the development of the future development, I hope, of Triple XL. So do we have too many big tag teams, or do you need multiple? Can it work? Impact finds a way to do it. AOP is a good Chris Hero decides to work. So for me, it has to be someone who's actually eligible to be signed, right? We can't say Briscoes or something, or Young Bucks. So
that's what I'm trying to figure out who's
and
out there right now.
But if I had to choose, depending on how you use them, I wouldn't mind. And I saw them recently, and he shaved his head, which made me happy. I wouldn't mind if the Ascension came in, because
yes, I would say the Ascension.
They have a cool look.
A bad one.
They are decent locker room guys. They wouldn't, starting fires, but they could be in decay like that, and then you have one for every division. So it works out really well. What about you? Do you have someone in mind, or?
I think AOP would be good. I like them better with a manager, personally. That's just my opinion. But I think that they could be good. But at the same time, I would rather see them build up Triple XL if they're going to bring in a team like AOP.
Yeah. Sorry, someone just said on the chat. I don't know if you could see that, but somebody has to say it. Kaz and Enzo. You know what? I'm going to change my mind.
No.
Besides for the Gorillas of Destiny as well, because once again, we're talking about people that are signed. So this is a team that's not signed. They will generate some kind of buzz. Kaz looks great. He looks focused. The big LG, I believe, will keep him in line since they're kind of close there, as well as Enzo. Their money. Could it be good money?
They are.
Could it be bad money? We don't know, but who knows?
They're over as hell.
I think there's a lot of good choices there. I think it's just, once again, it's at the sacrifice of Triple XL or Reno Scum, but are they even going to develop them anyways? We're hitting that 10-minute mark, so I do want to play the game with you there, Bert, and then unfortunately kick you off. But
that's fine.
We'll go pick a number 1 through 6, buddy.
I'll go 4.
All right. Our first hint is Ric Flair.
AJ Styles. Because we already used Sting.
Yeah. Okay. AJ.
Yeah, that would be the obvious choice for me, AJ.
Number 2. AJ Lee.
It's AJ Styles.
Max?
I'll still go AJ Styles.
Easy, okay. Bert?
Yeah.
No, you're not.
It's not.
Cheater. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I didn't. I mean, I looked in the chat.
Saw it. Piece of shit. Well, the third one's Macho Man. So, yes, AO, you were right. Yeah, you're going to change it, yeah.
Say.
All right. Bert, what would your guess be, buddy? If it was Ric Flair, AJ Lee, and Macho Man, you would say?
It has to be
AJ Lee. Obviously had that wonderful and timeless interview or promo with Ric Flair, and of course Macho Man is the Black Machismo. All right, Bert, thank you for calling in, buddy, and thank you for joining our family. We really appreciate it, and I'm sure we'll hear from you next week. All right, buddy.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
All right, there we go.
All right, what's the next one?
Let's see here. All right, we got next one up is D'Lo Brown. Yeah,
D'Lo Brown. So Mick Foley?
Okay. Craig?
Mick Foley, maybe?
No,
I mean, D'Lo's obviously in Impact, but I don't know what he ever has done in Impact outside of him being in Aces and
Eights.
Eights.
He's done outside of it. Oh, in
I'll have to.
Okay. Craig, what was your thought?
Yeah.
It's tough. I'll go.
Okay.
I'll go D1.
I am really disappointed in this,
Okay.
by the way. I'll tell you why later. 2 is Tomko.
That could be AJ Styles.
2010.
Yes. AJ.
And last,
AJ.
Daniels. It is AJ Styles.
AJ
Remember the
Styles.
three people besides Jerry. Oh, Jerry Lynn would be the fourth that he won a tag team championship with in Impact. Yeah, it's him and D'Lo.
He won a
right?
tag-
Am I mistaken?
I don't know. I mean,
No, they were.
All right. We got a few more minutes. We'll keep playing.
Okay.
It seems like with bullshit, have some fun. All right.
all right. I
I
like this game.
Let's see. We did that one, and let's do this one here. Raven. Raven is your first hint. Kaz.
Kaz.
Oh, serotonin. I like that.
I'm trying to think. I was gonna say Dreamer,
All right,
but I
well,
don't
we're
think
gonna
he's
give you
in
Dreamer
that
as your
set.
answer. There we go. All right, number 2.
I'll go Dreamer though.
Vince Russo. Vince Russo and Raven.
Abyss. Could be Abyss.
Okay.
Russo. Oh, man. Russo. Raven. I don't know. I don't know, so I'm just going to stick with Kaz.
Kurt Angle.
Jeff Jarrett. I saw somebody put it. I think that's a good one. Well, Kurt Angle. Well, hold on. Yeah, I'll go Jeff Jarrett on this one. I know they feuded a bunch.
Craig.
Angle, Raven, Russo.
The points are real, Craig.
no,
Say
no
whatever you
idea.
want, buddy.
Pick somebody other
It's
than
not
Kaz.
Kaz. I'll tell you that.
Okay, let's go for Script Magnus.
Oh,
Alright,
that would have been in the
Magnus.
trash can. It was Jeff Jarrett. Biggest feud at the time originally was
Okay.
Raven over the championship. Vince Russo was who he obviously was friends with in WCW, WWF, and TNA, brought into TNA. Had a program with him with Sports Entertainment Extreme, and then Kurt Angle, obviously, he stole Kurt's wife. Oh,
Aw,
he did
poor
all right.
Kurt.
He did all right. All right. Yeah, we still got some time. You guys like playing this? Is a fun game. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Keep it going.
Yeah.
What's the next one?
Cool.
Curry Man.
Daniels.
Christopher Daniels.
I'll go slow. Let the chat group wheel him in. Curry Man is the first.
Oh,
Second
shit.
hint. New Jack. Curry Man.
Shark
New
Boy.
Jack.
Son of a
I'll go Shark Boy.
Shark Boy.
Okay. Last is Steve Austin.
Shark Boy.
It's Craig's favorite Shark Boy. Everybody, Shark Boy. Don't worry, Craig. In this
Why do you
video,
like
you'll
Shark
be
Boy
very,
so much,
I
Craig?
threw some love for you on this unboxing video. All right, we got 2 more, and then we're gonna say our goodbyes, guys.
Okay.
Thank you for sticking with us. It was a pleasure. Thank you to Bert and Io for calling in the chat group, guys. You crazy good. Thank you to our Sounder listeners as well as our YouTube watchers, and then of course our live Twitch followers. We love you guys. Next up, Sabu. We got 2 more people. Sabu.
Mick Foley. Foley.
RVD.
Okay.
I don't think RVD's in that.
Number 2. Yeah, I'm gonna try squeezing this in. Rosemary.
Abyss.
Yeah, the best.
Okay. RVD we got there. And third is James Mitchell.
Abyss.
It is Abyss. So that leaves the last one to being if you don't know the toy, we can still go with it. But the first hint is Sting. The second hint is Steve Austin.
Sting.
And the third hint is The Rock. It's Mick Foley.
Mick Foley. He was in that toy. Is he not?
No, we won't ruin it because that's in the video. He's actually in the expansion pack. So, guys, It was fun. Next week, as we said, we will put out the time, but we will be here for the pre-show of Hardcore Justice, doing our thing, talking to you guys, taking calls. If anyone wants to be on the show, screw it. Come on in. More the merrier. We have a good time talking about it and getting ready to watch it. So we don't do watch-alongs right now just because we respect the talent in the matches, especially when it's new content. Maybe some older stuff we'll go back and do it, but I'm not a fan of taking my attention away too much to the actual show. But right after this, please go watch on our YouTube channel. I'll have it up literally as soon as you get out of here. It's This Old Wrestling Shit, where we unbox these 10 wrestlers out of the I won't ruin it if you haven't watched the video yet. As far as the sample, throw it to Craig. Got anything to say, buddy?
Just do the usual stuff. Follow us here, follow us there, follow us everywhere, and stay tuned for everything we have coming out over the next month. Some good stuff coming up, and we shall see you all next week.
We'll see you next week. Keep us on your calendar. Like I said, next week on April 24th as well, Michael Cavaccini comes back. And we'll have some cool announcements on that show, I hope, as well. Maybe regarding merchandise and some other cool things that the chat group might have saw sneak peeks of. So, and that's another thing. If you guys want to join our chat group, it's an open forum. It's a fun, safe place for all of us to talk and to be unbiased and transparent. So please add us or write us if you're interested in being on there, if you're not already. Thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for staying tuned. We love you guys. And stay tuned for all the exciting stuff we have coming. Max?
Oh. And if you're up at 4 a.m., check out New Japan Pro Wrestling. They have a pay-per-view, Kota Ibushi versus Will Ospreay. Fight for this phenomenal title behind me. The beauty that it is, the Cody Rhodes butterfly globe title, whatever the hell that got off. I don't actually think that's Africa. I just grabbed a globe because they have giant.
I'm not a smartest person in the world, but I'm pretty sure that's Africa.
No, I'm saying I don't think they have Africa on the actual. I don't think it's two giant Africa globes on the actual belt. I just grabbed a globe that I found when I was creating this monstrosity behind me. I didn't intentionally find.
On that note, we'll leave it there. Nonsense as always. More nonsense to come. Wrestling Jeebus, you are personally invited to our Impact Power Rankings. We'll add you later. You are the winner so far if the guess is there. And there'll be more opportunities for you guys going next week and the week after that. Thank you again. See you next time.
Later, guys.